Hey there. It's awesome to see your interest in AI.
Yeah.
We're going to dive deep into generative AI services today.
Right.
You shared some really cool documents with us about AI automations. We're going to use those along with chapters 1 through 4 of FastAPI by Ali Parenda.
Awesome.
It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, this deep dive is all about giving you a solid understanding of what generative AI is all about.
Right.
We're going way beyond typical AI that just analyzes data. This is AI that actually creates things.
Wow.
Text, images, audio, even 3D models.
It's not just about analyzing anymore.
Right.
It's like AI is becoming an artist.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you could say goodbye to writer's block forever?
Oh, wow.
Imagine AI suggesting different paths for your story.
That'd be incredible.
Or let's say you're working on a complex project.
Okay.
You need a visual of two moons overlapping edges, shimmering with an impossible spectrum.
Whoa.
Generative AI tools like Midjourney
Yeah.
can make that happen.
That's mind-blowing.
And generative AI isn't just a tool for artists.
No, not at all.
It can change how we use technology completely.
Totally.
The book actually highlights how it can personalize user experiences.
Oh, that's interesting.
Imagine an app that adapts to what you like
Yeah.
in real time.
Wow.
Suggesting products and even changing the interface based on how you've used it before.
So it's learning from you.
And it does all this without collecting tons of data.
That's a huge plus for privacy.
Exactly.
The book also talks about how generative AI can help us solve problems way more efficiently.
Like instead of endless Google searches,
Right.
you could have an AI that gets what your problem is
Understands the context.
and gives you solutions just for you.
Tailored to your needs.
This could be a game changer for programmers.
Oh, absolutely.
They're always running into unique coding problems.
Yeah, for sure.
This contextual problem solving is a key thing the book emphasizes,
For sure.
but it goes even further than that.
Oh, really?
Think about customer service.
Okay.
Waiting on hold forever is the worst.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Generative AI could power bots
Oh, wow.
that can access a company's databases and resources immediately,
So they'd have all the info at their fingertips.
providing real-time support and solving queries way faster
That would be a huge improvement.
for both businesses and customers.
Absolutely.
It's like having a super efficient customer service agent available 24/7.
That's incredible.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
The book also talks about using generative AI
Yeah.
as an interface
Okay.
to complex systems.
Interesting.
Imagine a world where anyone, no matter their tech skills,
Yeah.
could use natural language
Wow.
to interact with complex systems.
Like just talking to them.
No more struggling with complicated interfaces
Right.
or learning special programming languages.
That's a game changer.
Generative AI could be like a translator,
Oh, cool.
letting you just tell the system what you want it to do.
I like that.
This could make powerful tools accessible to everyone.
Absolutely.
And then there's content creation.
Okay.
Things like summarizing research or rewriting text.
Yeah.
They can take up so much time.
They're essential but time consuming.
Generative AI could automate those tasks,
Wow.
letting writers focus on the big picture
And get more done.
and produce high-quality content faster.
It's not just about automating tasks.
Right.
It's about making us better at what we do.
Exactly.
Generative AI can handle the boring stuff.
Like the grunt work.
So human creativity and expertise can shine.
That all sounds amazing.
It is pretty incredible.
But are there any downsides to this technology?
Well, like any technology, generative AI has its challenges.
Okay.
One of the big ones is making sure the output is accurate, relevant, and consistent.
So it's not perfect yet,
It's getting there, but there's still room for improvement.
especially when integrating it with existing systems.
Yeah, especially those that interact with customers.
Making sure the AI responds appropriately and consistently is crucial.
Absolutely.
So it's not a perfect solution just yet.
Not quite.
There are still some kinks to work out,
Yeah.
both technically and ethically.
The book dives into these challenges
Oh, that's interesting.
and explores how we can make generative services more independent,
Or autonomous.
right, to overcome some of these limitations.
So it's like teaching the AI to think for itself,
In a way, yes.
but within safe and ethical boundaries.
Exactly.
And one of the keys to this is crafting the right prompts. It's like refining your Google searches.
Oh, I see.
The more specific and detailed info you give the AI, the better the results.
So it's not just about having a powerful AI model.
Right.
It's about communicating with it effectively.
But even with well-crafted prompts, existing techniques for connecting AI to external data,
Yeah.
have limitations.
Like what?
For example, translating text to SQL queries can be tricky, and fine-tuning models for specific tasks makes them less flexible.
So we need to bridge the gap between what AI can do and the real-world data it needs to work with.
So how do we solve this?
That's the big question.
How do we give generative AI the info it needs to truly shine?
The book has a solution.
Yeah.
Wrapping the model with a web server.
A web server.
It acts as a bridge between the AI and the outside world.
I see.
Letting us integrate databases and APIs directly into the process.
So it's like a personal librarian for the AI.
Exactly.
Giving it access to a ton of information and resources.
Precisely.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But why FastAPI specifically?
FastAPI is a high-performance Python framework.
Okay.
That's perfect for creating generative AI services.
What makes it so special?
It's super fast and flexible, and it uses all the great Python tools for deep learning.
So we're talking speed and efficiency.
Yes.
Without giving up the ease of use and powerful tools of Python.
Exactly.
What makes it stand out from other Python frameworks?
Like Django or Flask.
Yep.
FastAPI has several advantages for generative AI. First, it's incredibly flexible.
So easy to integrate AI models into applications.
Exactly.
Second, it's built for speed.
Which is essential for real-time content generation.
And third,
it
automatically generates documentation.
That's a huge time saver.
With automatic documentation.
Yeah, no more spending hours writing those tedious docs.
That sounds like a dream come true.
It is pretty great.
So FastAPI has speed efficiency and great documentation.
It does.
Thus,
it also uses asynchronous handling.
What's that?
It's crucial for managing multiple requests efficiently.
Especially with those computationally intensive AI tasks.
Exactly.
So FastAPI can handle a lot of requests without getting bogged down.
Yes, it's like having a team of AI assistants working in parallel.
Each handling a different task simultaneously.
That's a great analogy.
So no more bottlenecks.
Right.
Even with complex AI processes.
And on top of all that,
there's more.
It uses a layered design pattern.
What's that?
Which makes it easier to scale and maintain even complex AI applications.
Okay. I'm starting to see why FastAPI is perfect for generative AI.
It's a powerful combination.
Can we get a more concrete example?
Sure.
Of how this all works together in a real-world application?
Of course. Imagine a generative AI service that combines multiple models for text, images, audio, video, and even 3D content creation.
Wow, that's a lot of creative power in one service.
It is pretty impressive.
Imagine it providing real-time responses, personalized to each user's needs.
Yeah.
Using pre-trained models and something called retrieval augmented generation. RAG for short.
Right.
So RAG helps tailor the output to each user's context.
Exactly.
The service could also interact with internal databases, external systems, and APIs.
Wow.
Gathering more context and making the prompts even better.
So it's like creating a super intelligent AI brain
that can access and process info from all sorts of sources.
That's a great way to put it.
Of course, security is key.
Absolutely.
This hypothetical service would have strong security measures.
Like what?
Like authentication, authorization, and safeguards against prompt hijacking.
To protect both users and the system itself.
So we're not just letting AI run wild.
No, we need to be responsible.
Security is a top priority.
Absolutely.
We need to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Yeah.
We'd include logging for monitoring analysis and human-in-the-loop review.
So humans are still involved.
Even with all this automation.
To ensure ethical and responsible use.
This hypothetical service shows how FastAPI provides a solid foundation for building powerful and responsible AI.
For sure.
What stands out to you as the most fascinating aspect of all of this?
Let me think about that.
FastAPI sounds incredible.
It is.
But what about companies or developers who already have applications built with other frameworks?
Yeah.
Can they experience the FastAPI magic too?
That's a great question.
Chapters 2 to 4 of the book really highlight its strengths. What makes this framework so perfect for these next-gen services?
What really stood out to me is how FastAPI manages to be super high performance, but also really easy to use because of Python. It's built on Starlet, which is known for its speed and efficiency. This lets FastAPI compete with frameworks written in Go or Node.js.
So you get the speed of those powerful languages with the flexibility and all the great deep learning tools of Python.
Exactly.
That's awesome. But what about handling multiple requests at once?
Okay.
Especially those complex AI tasks?
Right.
that can take a while to process?
Yeah.
Won't that slow things down?
That's where asynchronous capabilities come in.
Okay.
Think of it like a restaurant.
Right.
In a traditional setup, a waiter takes your order and waits for the kitchen to make it before moving on to the next customer.
Yeah.
This can lead to long wait times if the kitchen gets backed up.
I hate waiting for food when I'm hungry.
Right. With asynchronous operations, though,
The waiter can take multiple orders at once and send them to the kitchen simultaneously. Even if one dish takes longer, it doesn't hold up the entire process.
that makes sense.
FastAPI does the same thing for AI tasks.
So no more bottlenecks,
Exactly.
even with complex AI processes.
Right.
The book also mentions something called background tasks.
Oh, yeah.
What are those?
They're really important for long-running operations, like training an AI model
Yeah.
or generating a complex 3D model.
Those can take a while.
These operations can take a lot of time,
Right.
and you don't want them to block your service.
From responding to other requests.
Imagine a user wants a 3D model,
Okay.
and the whole service freezes while it's being generated.
That wouldn't be good.
That would be a terrible user experience.
Right.
FastAPI lets you run these time-consuming operations in the background.
So the main process can keep handling other requests,
Exactly.
like setting your AI to work on a project overnight, and it won't interrupt your normal workflow.
So background tasks are like a dedicated team working behind the scenes,
Exactly.
making sure everything runs smoothly for the user.
That's a great way to put it.
This all sounds very technical.
It is pretty advanced.
Is FastAPI hard to learn?
Not at all.
Really?
One of its strengths is how user-friendly it is.
Okay.
The syntax is very intuitive, and it takes inspiration from Flask.
Another Python framework.
Yeah, right.
So if you know some basic Python,
You can pick up FastAPI pretty quickly.
that's good to know.
And FastAPI also has excellent documentation.
Oh, that's important.
So it's easy to understand the concepts
Right.
and start building your own applications.
It uses type hints too.
Yeah, a powerful feature in Python
Okay.
that makes your code more readable and helps prevent errors.
So it's like labels on your ingredients,
Haha, I like that.
making sure you don't mix up the salt and sugar.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
So you catch mistakes before they become big problems.
And FastAPI takes type hints a step further
No.
by integrating with Pydantic,
Okay.
a library that's really good at validating data.
What does that mean?
You can define the structure and types of your data, and Pydantic makes sure that any incoming data follows those rules.
So it's like a quality control system,
Yeah, exactly.
protecting your AI models from bad data.
Especially important in AI where data integrity is crucial.
Then it doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
FastAPI also has built-in support for generating API documentation,
Yes, using the Open API standard.
automatic API documentation.
No more manually updating those docs.
That saves so much time.
It does.
And it makes it easier for developers to understand your API,
So everyone's on the same page.
fostering better collaboration and integration.
Exactly.
What about security?
That's always a top priority.
Especially when you're dealing with AI systems
Right.
that might handle sensitive data.
FastAPI's got you covered.
How so?
It has built-in support for authentication and authorization,
So you can integrate with existing security systems.
or implement your own custom measures.
That's great.
And to top it all off,
There's more.
FastAPI has a fantastic community and ecosystem.
So there's a lot of support available.
Tons of resources, tutorials, and third-party libraries.
That's awesome. It sounds like FastAPI is the complete package.
It's a very well-rounded framework.
But with all these amazing features, does it have any limitations?
That's a good question.
Is there anything it can't do?
Let me think about that. Well, every framework has its trade-offs,
Of course.
but FastAPI is designed to be very versatile.
Sounds like it.
It's a really good choice for building all sorts of applications.
Especially those involving generative AI.
Absolutely.
But what about companies or developers who already have applications built with other frameworks?
Yeah.
Can they get in on the FastAPI action?
That's a great question.
What if they want to experience the FastAPI magic?
You're right, not everyone is starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Migrating an existing application to a new framework
Right.
can seem really daunting.
It can be scary.
But FastAPI actually makes this process pretty smooth.
Really?
The book even has some tips for migrating from Django and Flask.
So you don't have to tear everything down and start over.
No, not at all.
There's a roadmap for making the switch.
Exactly.
Let's say you have an application built with Django.
Okay.
What would be the key steps to migrate it to FastAPI?
First, you'd redefine your Django root handlers as FastAPI handlers.
So you're basically translating the directions from one map to another.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You're converting the logic
Right.
that connects URLs to specific functions.
Exactly.
What about the data models and validation logic?
Good point.
How does that translate?
That's where Pydantic comes in again.
Oh, right. Pydantic.
It would redefine any Django serializer and RRM models as Pydantic models.
This ensures that your data handling stays consistent.
Right.
And works with FastAPI.
Yes, exactly.
So Pydantic is like a bridge between the old and new ways of handling data.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
It's a language that both frameworks understand.
Precisely.
What's next?
Next, you'd focus on replacing any third-party plugins or dependencies from your Django application with their FastAPI equivalents.
So like finding the right tools for a new workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
You might need to swap out some equipment.
Right.
But the core functionality stays the same.
Precisely.
Then what?
Once you've done that, you can start migrating your core controller logic.
Adapting the code that processes requests and generates responses.
To work within the FastAPI framework.
It sounds like a step-by-step process.
Yeah.
But manageable with the right guidance.
Definitely.
What about migrating from Flask?
Oh, that's usually easier.
Because FastAPI was inspired by it.
Exactly. The syntax and concepts are pretty similar.
It's with a smoother learning curve.
You still need to redefine rote handlers and models, but the overall transition is less bumpy.
It's like moving to a new house in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
The layout's a bit different.
Right.
But you know the area.
And if you're coming from a different framework, the process will depend on that framework's specifics.
Right.
But the main ideas are the same.
Adapt your routing data models and controller logic to FastAPI.
Exactly.
It's good to know there's a clear path.
Yeah.
No matter where you're starting from.
FastAPI makes it as easy as possible.
What about general coding practices?
Yes.
Are there any tips or best practices the book highlights?
Absolutely. The book really emphasizes writing clean, well-structured, and well-documented code.
It's like building a solid foundation for your house.
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be the most exciting part.
But it's crucial for stability.
What specific tools or practices does the book recommend?
It encourages using linters, formatters, loggers, and scanners.
What do those do?
They help ensure code quality, readability, and security.
So they're like a team of editors and proofreaders.
Yeah, constantly checking your code for any problems.
Catching those mistakes before they cause a disaster.
Exactly.
What about project structure?
The book talks about different options.
Like what?
Flat-nested, modular, and layered structures.
Each one has its own advantages.
Depending on the project's size and complexity.
So it's like choosing the right storage system for your tools.
Yeah, I like that.
A simple toolbox might be enough for a few tools.
Right.
But a well-organized workshop is essential for a large collection.
Exactly. The book goes into detail about each structure.
So you can choose the best one for your needs.
And for your team.
This deep dive has been amazing.
I've learned a lot too.
We've uncovered so much about generative AI and FastAPI.
It's an exciting time to be in software development.
It really is.
As you explore this field further,
Yeah.
you'll see that the possibilities are endless.
With tools like FastAPI and a bit of creativity.
You can build incredible applications with generative AI.
To our listeners, we hope this deep dive has been as insightful for you as it has been for us.
I hope so too.
The world of AI is constantly changing.
It is.
So keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop learning.
That's the key.